Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
I read what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers can they spit, and I ain't listening, is in fact a fear. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jacob. So I war, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Pay. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chains. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow side, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jake when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Yo, this be actually really hard.
UBK shit, South Coast shit, man. Shout out Bar Dog, Tennessee, up the business. Hey, get the money, hey. What the fuck going on out there, motherfucker? Hey.
Get the money, nigga. Taste the paper, bitch. Keep all of your morals, never slay for shit. Ice up on my wrist. Yeah, I'm hood rich. I don't give a fuck about to get pop quick. Yeah, I'm on that shit. Yeah, I'm in the town. Niggas talking about that G, but now they come around. Can they come around? Yeah, I'm up, nigga. Man, fuck all of these hoes, get the bucks, bitch. I'm a young rich nigga, I ain't tryna flex. You can tell I'm cold by the ice around my neck. Straight up BBS, I charge you, boy, you wanna test. I don't get no shot about a nigga or a bitch. Boy, I love the life I live, cause a nigga keep it real. Nigga freshly hell, take that drip, but get the spill. I ain't little flip, getting pimped up out of his. I'm a straight G-Do, getting paper like a miso. That's that South Coast stain if you're tryna hang. You be kidding about it, bang, boy, we rep the same. Nigga tryna talk, but we rep that murder game. Get your ass pop, ain't nothing to a G. All up, bitches wanna fuck, but hell no, I don't pay no fee. Bitches leak 2G, got that ice, I make you sneeze. All these niggas let me hell, can't even come around me. Bitches South Coast, South Carolina, bitch, I'm styling you.
Really, no demons get control of me. No money get the best of me. No bitches getting up over me. Don't want much, nigga, I'm sucker free. That's the way it gotta be. These niggas chain, these bitches chain, y'all chain is soak me. For real, this brotherhood a weapon. And bitch, we carry weapons. Black rob on nigga ass won't even need a weapon. And y'all be reputation. And y'all be very respected. And if you got a problem, then y'all better address it. You cross that line, we ain't show no mercy. Cross that line, you ain't gon' need search. You pull up and they get nervous. You ain't making no moves, you ain't got no purse. On UPK, so I ain't never worried. I'm putting them right both of my hands dirty. For real, I learned from the OGs. I'm a young nigga, but I'm a certified priest. And not from Tennessee. In this mandatory that I gotta keep my heat. You should play it safe, and we gon' play with keys. For real.
Work hard, then play. Bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay. You purple, you gay. You need tags, lil' fame. I won't walk, got the same. For wrong. For wrong, these people. For wrong. I try to tell these motherfuckers time and time. For wrong. Pussy ass, purple ass nigga, man. For wrong. Make your born ass right. Niggas better get their weight up, you little body bitch. Worry about a damn pay cut, you little body bitch. I ain't worried about none of these niggas, little body bitch. You that scare rag cow ass little body bitch. Had to fuck around, get my rank up, you little body bitch. And I'm pouring up, yeah, young nigga, and I'ma take a sip. Yeah, all these niggas run down, hate, but tell them zip it, lip. You a dumb ass scare ass boy, little body bitch. Damn, and I ain't worried about nothing, nigga, nah, I ain't worried about shit. I got more than one, so you know, nigga, don't reminisce. I spit flavors on they damn beats, niggas better catch a bitch. Never knew a goddamn man be scared to represent. When you a whole ass, dirt ass, little damn body ass nigga. Get body with the damn scritchy with your little body ass nigga. Nigga, I'm a true priest, true line, nigga, true Zion ass nigga. And you a little boy, little bitch ass, little body ass nigga. Be rain, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play. Bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay. You purple, you gay. You need ass, lil' fame. I won't walk, got the same. For wrong. For wrong, nigga. For wrong. I tell them, nigga. For wrong. Get your shit together, nigga. For wrong. Work. I'ma do this shit till I rock it, you little body bitch. I'ma ditch your ass like your pot, you little body bitch. And I'm smooth with it, y'all zop, you little body bitch. And I switch, ain't gon' know a thought, you little body bitch. And I'ma stay determined like the cons, you little body bitch. And I'm stone cold like a bond, you little body bitch. And I'm a warrior like Dan Gabar, you little body bitch. And my aim like that a zop, you little body bitch. Need a princess pop out, you little body bitch. Or anyone down the slide, you little body bitch. Yeah. I keep a couple straps in my ride, you little body bitch. Just in case anyone wanna die, cause I'm body bitch. I got be right, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play. Bad bitch, my taste, we vibe, we lay, we purple, we gay, you need tails, lil' fame, I won't want, I say, for wrong. Lifestyle, that's my boss, bitch, and my wordplay. Hey, when I get mad, turn the Scarface. How when I get mad, turn the Sharface. Yeah. Fuck. Tell me how it is, tell me how you feel, tell me what it is, tell me what you wanna do. Put sad boy plotting on who? I done seen it all before I came through. Must don't understand, nigga, I'm in the truth, plain mad nigga. But they cracker trying to shoot shit my way. 100 down rides on the highway. Only thing I got in this lifestyle, that's my boss, bitch, and my wordplay. Hey, when I get mad, turn the Scarface. Now when I get mad, turn the Sharface. Yeah, I'm up in South Beach with this shit, nigga, Miami. Fuck on me, nigga. Tell me how it is, tell me how you feel, tell me what it is. I'm always in the field, always dressed to kill, nigga. What the fuck you talking about? But your pussy boy boy. But you ain't talking about nothing but you ain't making noise. You ain't on that shit that you thought you was. Who the fuck these niggas thought they was? They don't even know that. Shooting at me and I'm a throwback. I don't look back, that's a throwback. No, I don't look sad cause I'm on that. Boy, get shot at the top, that's a toe tag. Lame man, cracker don't want the guns on me. But these people wanna know everything. But the booze and the chica. I tell these soft ass boys how to think. But I'm on my grind and they hate. Yeah, my nutsack on these fuck niggas when I don't give a fuck. What they be hating on cause I'm up, nigga. What the fuck, nigga? Who the fuck these niggas thought they was? Yeah, all the time a nigga growing. All the time a nigga knowing. Gotta stack it up, keep that bitch flowing. Hey, hey. Tell me how it is, tell me how you feel, tell me what it is. Gotta flip the deal, gotta keep the steel, kill a big kid. Nah, nigga, for real, I'm ready for the real. Nigga, ready for the war, nigga. But they crackers trying to shoot shit my way. 100 damn rounds on the highway. Only thing I got in this lifestyle, that's my boss, bitch, and my wordplay. Hey, when I get mad, turn to Scarface. Now when I get mad, turn to Scarface. They up here with the scene, nigga, with the Colombians, cutting niggas' heads off and shit. Tell me how it is, tell me how you feel. Always just a kid, shoot 'em up the hill. Gotta keep it still, nah, nigga, for real. Hey, the boy, I think they talking about. Why X out your rank, walking on your sand. On the highway, chasing after bands. Boy, wanna hate, they don't understand. Boy, wanna hate, soft two cans. Sam, man, nigga. I told you for that nigga, don't know it. Yeah, chasing after one, I love that shit. Cause the thrill of the hunt keep me on my shit. Yeah, the deck on my hip with a stand-up club. Yeah, motherfucker, we'll kill your ass. We'll motherfucking dissect your ass. Cut a head off, put a body for the buzzers. Matter of fact, fuck them buzzers, nigga. Ain't no head hunters. Hey, call nigga Sharface, nigga. What the fuck you talking about? Yeah.
You boy, you know what time it is, nigga.
Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my nigga.
Yeah. I'm in it, yo. Got my nigga Ramon with me.
But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor.
You know what I'm saying?
Under commanding general, your honor. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top when we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my hockin' gon' let him have it. Hey, thank you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
I got you. Let it ride real quick. Look.
City eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls to you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times two. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Fierce taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java, come on, man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evans to a mall quad, telling me how the crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Poke a stop, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas we bear arms like tarantulas. Them mother niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen prophets under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty to handle. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo, spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Round with Yarada, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
Take your creativity to the next level on Mac and iPad with Apple Creator Studio. Get Apple's best creative apps for film, music, design, and productivity all in one low-price subscription with your first month free. Visit apple.co/Creator Studio to learn more.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
What you talking about?
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. South Coast shit, we bought it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing. Like, bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All the hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walk around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for 'em and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Shoulda took the time, get a damn no. But I see the sorrow and I show her. She could never get a piece hold. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jury. In Tennessee while I'm touring. As a Tennessee, but she luring. And a sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit muggin'. I say, hit that nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy, you be done to try. South Coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid, little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing, like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't nothing to me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, that clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. You're scoring off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UBK play for keys, nigga. Commander General get a damn order, but ain't nothing me to damn kill you. I stuck in his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close combat. Nigga got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy, you be done to try. South Coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid, little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing, like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stress by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too.
We accept it, but it's something that we understand. Black people are not the same as white people. Meaning this, when a black person is typically involved in a situation where shots are fired, it's typically an altercation. You understand? Yep. Whereas white people, whenever there's instances where they're shooting in public, they're psychopaths who want to kill innocent people. You understand? So I'll give you a prime example. There's this term called active shooter. You know what I'm saying? You can tell me what an active shooter is. Break it down for me what an active shooter is.
Active shooter would be somebody that they go into like a public place or a place with a lot of people and they're just like randomly like shoot. Right. Their whole purpose is killing.
Right. So that's what an active shooter is.
Right.
You understand? An altercation between two people. Is that an active shooter?
No.
No. It's not an active shooter. You understand? So, what the brothers did at the Haywood Mall, when the article came out, they labeled the brothers active shooters. You understand? Meaning this, to white society, they're counting this incident the same as Columbine. They're considering it to be the same as when that devil went into that grocery store in Buffalo, New York, with a GoPro strapped to his chest. You understand? Live streaming him unaliving random black people in a grocery store, innocent people. So they're coupling the two the same, and they're absolutely completely different. You understand? So I've noticed that they've been doing this for a while. You understand? Whenever you hear about when there's a shooting at a party, shooting at a club, when it touches the news, they typically slip in that word active shooter. Go ahead, Al.
Term that they like to try to use, especially up there in Chicago and Gary, Indiana, and all that. They like to try to use the term mass.
Exactly. Same scenario. You understand? When there's a completely different dynamic between the two. You understand? Why do black people unalive each other? Go ahead.
Most of the times, particularly on gangs, colors.
Let's take it a step. Let's dig a little deeper.
Because the main reason why black people hate each other is because we learned from our oppressors to hate each other.
Exactly. You understand? This is a learned behavior. You understand? And a lot of it comes from what? The love of our oppressor.
Right.
Because when you love your oppressor, you're going to love what he loves and hate what he hates.
Right.
You understand? Okay. Think about your relationship. If you love a woman, you're going to love, but not all the things you love. You know, but the grand scheme of things, you're going to love the things she loves and you're going to hate the things she hates. You understand? You know, she might love watching Wendy Williams. I'm not going to love that. You know what I'm saying? But she's going to love our children. I'm going to love our children. She's going to love our family. I'm going to love our family. You understand? She's going to hate people that steal from our family. I'm going to hate people that steal from our family. Go ahead.
Piggyback off what you said, the reason why we do that is because of the term of what they're trying to use, happy wife, happy life. But, I mean, of course we want to really be pleasable or happy or whatever. The term we go on it, if your wife ain't happy, you ain't have a happy life.
Well, yeah. And a lot of that has to do with because society teaches us that our feelings hold weight. Yeah, that our feelings hold. Do what feels right. You know what I'm saying? Do what feels right. Like, here's the thing: you don't want me to do what feels right, because if I did what feels right, a lot of these churches, I'm not even gonna say what you know what I mean, what I'm thinking, but there was something I may have thought to attempt before finding the truth, and it involved going to some of these churches on the busiest Sundays after church sundown. You understand? Because I had, at this point, had lost hope in Christianity, in the Bible, and religion altogether. As far as I was concerned, all of it was fake. And the only thing real, I considered myself to be the judgment of the Lord. You understand? Because I felt like if I'm having these ideas, then maybe that's the Lord talking to me. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe he showed me that these Christian churches are filthy pieces of garbage. And all the money that they make on Sundays, they don't deserve that. Maybe I should relieve them of that. You understand? So if we do what feels right, then you're going to have psychopaths walking the street, taking lives at will, because to them that feels right. You understand? Jeffrey Dahmer. Why do you think he unalived people and dissected them and kept body parts in the freezer and ate people? Why do you think he did that? Go ahead, huh?
That's how he felt.
Because that's how he felt. Because it felt right. You understand? So we can't do something just because it feels right. You understand? Just because it's in our heart to do it. You understand? Matter of fact, go ahead.
No, but you gotta go to precept.
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead. What's your question?
No, I just had precept.
Oh, give me the precept. Because you might be about to pull what I'm about to get into.
The book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 16. And it reads, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." Verse 17.
Go ahead.
"For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary, the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High."
And why do they do those things? Because it feels right. You understand? That's a great precept. You understand? And a matter of fact, I want you to add to that. I want you to go to Jeremiah 17:9. You understand? Jeremiah 17:9. Baba Kasha.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9. "The heart is deceitful above all things."
It's what?
Deceitful above all
It
things.
says the heart is deceitful above all things. You understand? So this whole thing of follow your heart. You understand? Let your heart tell you what to do. You understand? Read it again.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9. It reads, "The heart is deceitful above all things."
So if you're doing what your heart tells you to do, if you're doing what feels right, you understand, you're listening to something that is deceitful above all things. You understand? You're listening to something that is lying to you. Go ahead.
Like the general said, General Yohanes, Commander General Yohanes said the other night, what's more important, sports, following what the Most High say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of our people, especially our people, we take sports like this. You know, I was listening to Biggie earlier today. He said, main two things that a black person can do is either you sell a major rock or you got a wicked jump shot.
Right. Right. You understand? Right. You understand? Now, that follows right back into everything we're getting to, right? Why do black people unalive each other? Because, go ahead. Because it's a learned behavior. And now also too, it's a learned behavior. But to take it a step further, it's because we are oppressed. We are in poverty. We are destroyed. You understand? So it's a learned behavior. We learned it from how we were treated. You understand? Like here's the thing. During slavery, you know that black people had families during slavery, or tried to. And it was very often, very common for those families to just be like, well, Well, cornbread. I'm about to. Matter of fact, they wouldn't even discuss it with him. He just wake up the next morning and they just taking his wife by the hand, putting her in chains, and taking half his kids and putting them in chains, and then next thing you know, the kids going to Kentucky and the wife going to Alabama. You understand? To never be seen again. You understand? Or maybe he might take all his kids. You understand? And, you know what I mean? And it created, you know what I mean? We were so unbelievably oppressed during slavery. You understand? And this is the things that we went through during slavery is how you know that we are God's chosen people. Because we should be extinct with everything we went through. We should be wiped out. You understand? But we still here. You understand? Read the verse of that. Read that scripture again from the top.
Ghana, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9. And it reads, the heart is deceitful above all things.
Go ahead.
And desperately wicked.
And what?
And desperately wicked.
And what?
And desperately wicked.
So if it feels right in your heart, 9 times out of 10, it is desperately wicked what you feel. You understand? Diddy, when he had them Diddy parties, you understand? It felt right to him, didn't it?
Yeah.
You understand? That he did what he fulfilled his heart's desires, did he not? That's what his heart desired for him to do. You understand? But you really don't, America doesn't even really want a society where people follow their heart. You understand? But they want us to believe that. They want us to follow our heart. They want us to be to keep our feelings such a high regard. Especially women. My goodness. You know, women, they'll destroy their entire family over happiness. You understand? They will destroy the minds and psyches of all of their children over happiness. And then justify it. Stand on it. They'll stand on it to their children. Well, your mother needed to be, I needed happiness too. What about the kids' happiness? What about their happiness? You understand? When your heart and your feelings and your emotions are the most important thing, you understand? You will destroy every good thing in your life. You understand? In pursuit of happiness. That's in the Constitution. You understand? Read on.
Who can know it?
Read it again.
And desperately wicked. Who can know it?
So who can know it? Listen. Christians be like, God knows my heart. Here it is, right here. God does know your heart. And your heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. You understand? And you don't even understand how deep the wickedness is. You have no idea because you think it's the right thing to follow your heart. You understand? Ask a woman who's 55, 60 years old who follow her heart. You understand? Most of them, when you ask them if they regret their decisions, they regret leaving their first husband. You understand? Go ahead.
They regret trying to get an education and stuff that they living by themselves with only 3 cats.
Now, this is a reality that a lot of our women are having right now. But the brother's saying it's so heavy. You understand? A lot of women will chase these careers. I can't remember who it was that said it, but there was a woman who was a sister who was a CEO of a company. And she retired from this company. And when she retired, she was famously quoted is saying that, yes, she did all this. She accomplished all these goals and ran all these companies. But at the end of the day, she felt like she had accomplished nothing. She was depressed. And the reason why is because she didn't even fulfill the purpose that the Lord gave to her. You understand? The purpose, the purpose of us being here is to have families. You understand? It's physically a part of our physiology to make babies. That's what sex is for. It's not to get your rocks off. You understand? It's not to bust a nut. You understand? It's to make babies, to have families. You understand? That's really it's a lot. Excuse my language. That's what it's for. You understand? That vagina is what babies come out of. And before a lot of women have their first child, they didn't have 1,000 rods up in them. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It's a lot of females mind. I know plenty of them that say, "Oh, shut up, and it's gonna clean all that up." Or they be like, "Oh, I got birth control. I ain't got to worry about getting pregnant, or where I could just not have sex."
Oh yeah, can't tell them that because they heart. They listening to their heart. Their heart means more than logic. Logic tells you gotta. And here's the thing. This is another thing too. You know that still to this day baffles me. Right. Women, when you go to ask them about their body count, things like that, there's a trend going on now with. Yeah, they don't want to talk about their body count. Why don't they want to talk about it? Go ahead. Because it's shameful. They're even ashamed of it. That's how you know that it's a demon that's driving them to do this. You understand? Because they're getting their cheeks clapped because they're listening to their heart, listening to their feelings, doing it because it feels right. Then right after they're done getting their cheeks clapped, that demon leaves them. And now they're just sitting there with their shame. Another body. Next thing you know, they got 80 bodies in LSU. And then you bragging about how that's not as bad as other sisters. Go ahead.
Like, woman's rights, woman's this. You know what I'm saying? They go and get these abortions. And then, like you said, it's heavy how you said it, because now 5, 10, 12 years down the line, you don't even know why you're depressed, because you done killed 3 babies, and you think about these babies every day of how they could have been this or that. You took them out the world before they even had a chance to eat.
Man, listen, I remember there was a sister that I knew, you know what I mean, and she was in her 30s, no kids. And, she was proud of that. I'm 30 and I ain't got no kids. I should be, any man should be, ready to settle down with me and da-da-da-da. I don't understand, da-da-da-da. Then it later came out, she told me that, she had multiple abortions. And I'm like, well, how many abortions did you have? Have you had? And she told me that she had 10 abortions in her life. 10 of them. And, and I was like, I said, damn, bitch, you a serial killer. And man, she turned up on me. I got the, she cussed me out. And I just took it. I wasn't even gonna argue back at her. I'm just, you mad, but you still a serial killer. Yeah, I said, yeah. I said, yes, I said, yo, I said, you got a graveyard between your legs. You know what I'm saying? Like, good night, 10 kids. Like, at some point in time, did you not stop to think to just stop? You know what I'm saying? Like that's, that's diabolical. 10 kids. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. Now, 40 years from now, she's on her hospital bed, about to die of old age. Nobody's going to be around her bed. You understand? My grandfather, I remember when my grandfather passed away. Somebody just dropped off a bunch of stuff right there. Is that for us? Step outside the door, see.
Is that a bookmark?
Oh, that yeah, it's for the right. So so you know, we do these things because we think following after our feelings because it feels right. You understand? When there are many terrible acts that happen because it feels right. You understand? I mean, you know, you commit adultery on your husband because it feels right. Because your happiness. Well, what about his happiness? What if it feels right for him to put a bullet in your chest? You understand? What if that feels right? You understand? Is he justified in that? Because you're justified for committing adultery because it felt right. But what if it felt right for him to punch you in the face? What if that felt right? You understand? This is why you should not do things just because you feel it, just because it feels right. You understand? Because the Christian church is a liar. They lie. They lie to you. The Christian church is the reason why you're following your heart and your feelings. You understand? Because the truth is this. There's a law that governs God's people that is written in the Bible. And the Christian church teaches you that law is no more. It teaches you that the law is done away with. You understand? And because that, and the thing is that when there is no law, then the only thing you have is how you feel. You understand? Just think about it like it's like being blind. If you're going off of your feelings, you're blind. And I'm explaining, hold it thought. I'm gonna explain what I mean by being blind. Picture this, right? Since you think your feelings are so important, you understand? Your feelings are so important to you. Think about it like this. This is how you know you're blind. When you go home, and you walk in your door, turn off all the lights, close your eyes, and you walk from your front door to your bedroom, lay in the bed with your eyes closed. How are you going to do it? Yeah, how do you do it with your eyes closed? You can feel around. And if it feels right, you're going to go that way. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is a problem. It can feel right, and there be some stairs in front of you. You might stump your toe going up them steps. Go ahead. You might end up in the bathroom. You understand? You're trying to go lay down in the bed, end up in the garage. You understand? But you have to feel. You understand? Give me Deuteronomy. Give me the book of Deuteronomy. I'm going to show you something, right? So if you're going off of your feelings, you're blind. You're blinded. You understand? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28.
Oh, God.
Matter of fact, give me 28 and give me verse 15, Baba Shah.
Oh, God. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. And it reads, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now, we don't keep these commandments. There's our forefathers, of course, we know, broke the commandments of God. And their breaking of the commandments caused us to fall under these curses. I'm going to show you one of the curses. Go down to verse 29, Baba Shah.
Verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness.
Read it again.
And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness.
So the grope means to reach out and touch, reach out and feel. You understand? It says, and thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. That's heavy. It says you should grope at noonday. What is noonday? What does that mean? Go ahead.
They would be like afternoon, when the sun's
like afternoon where the sun is shining and it's completely, absolutely bright outside. But yet you are groping, even though there's light, even though you have the Bible, you're blind. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's when the sun is at its highest.
You're right. That's right. When the sun is at its highest, meaning that the sun is at its brightest. You understand? It's saying that you shall grope at noonday. That's the blind gropeth in darkness. Read on.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
And thou shalt what?
Not prosper in thy ways.
Why does it say that you shall not prosper in thy ways? Because you're going off of your feelings. You're groping in darkness. That's the blind. You're groping at noonday. That's the blind gropeth in darkness. You understand? So you shall not prosper in thy ways because you're blind. You understand? That's what it means when somebody, you got to go after your feelings and your feelings and what's your heart, follow your heart. The scriptures say when the blind leadeth the blind, they both shall lie in a ditch. Why shall they both lie in a ditch? Because they're both groping at noonday. It's the blind gropeth in darkness. You understand? Now, this next part, I'm going to give you a breakdown. We're going to go into this breakdown, okay? I'm going to break down that the laws of God are not done away with, right? So now, you want to take notes on these breakdowns because you're going to need them for your officer test. All right, so you're going to want to write these scriptures down, go back and study them because you need to know these as an officer. Okay. All right, so now, what was that? I thought you were saying something. All right, so now I want you to turn to the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17. Well,
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. And it reads, think not that I
what?
Think not.
Do what?
Think not.
It says think not, meaning don't even picture it in your mind. Don't even imagine it. You understand? Think not. Don't think what's about to be said. You understand? Read on.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Read it again.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Now who's speaking?
Yahushua.
This is Christ speaking. You understand? He's saying, think not that I have come to destroy the law. You understand? Think about it. Christians say they follow Christ, right?
Right.
So they say that Christ did away with the law, right?
Right.
But what is Christ saying out of his own mouth?
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
He's saying, think not that I've come to destroy the law. Read on.
Or the prophets.
Who penned the law? The law was penned by the prophets. You understand? It was passed down from the Most High and from Moses. You understand? And it was kept throughout the centuries. You understand? And Christ is saying, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. If the law was done away with, then he would have destroyed the law and destroyed everything that the prophets stood on. And think about how disrespectful and dishonorable it is to the courageous brothers and sisters in the Bible who gave up their lives, gave up the lives of their children for the law, to have integrity, to stand for something that you would never stand for. You understand? They put their lives on the line to not eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. They put their lives on the line to worship and serve the God of the Bible and not the God of another nation. You understand? People died over that. So if Christ did away with the law, then their death was in vain. You understand? You mean to tell me that they were fools? They were idiots? They were dumb and stupid? Matter of fact, how do they talk about us? Are they in a cult? You understand? They're in a religious cult for not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, for not being homosexuals. You understand? For not sleeping with children, for not being drug addicts, for not sleeping with white women. They were in a cult for that. Go ahead.
Hold on, another weird thing. So apparently I'm in a cult because the brothers above me don't let me play with a sister and just throw her away. Oh, you're in a cult because you have to stay with her. Like, ain't that a good thing?
Let me ask you a question. Is it a good thing to stop your child from running out in traffic and getting hit by a car?
Right.
Well, you would stop your child from running out in traffic, right?
Right.
Then you're in a cult. You're in a cult. You're evil and you're in a cult. If you try to stop your child from eating rat poison. You understand? If you love someone, you correct it. You understand? The problem is our people have never been loved. We've only been hated. You understand? Because we've only been hated, we don't know how. Go ahead.
It's hard to take correction when you never been corrected.
Get this brother, man. It's hard to be corrected when you've never been corrected. You understand? And that correction comes from someone who loves you. You understand? Because otherwise, why would you correct? You understand? We did a breakdown a few weeks ago about racism, about what was it called? The phenomenon known as the condemnation of the other. We did a breakdown on the reasons of prejudice. You understand? And how white people, they're just they are racist towards us or prejudiced towards us for no reason at all. Whereas our prejudice is based on a particular act or actions that were taken that they should correct. You understand? So we hate white people not because they're white, not because they talk funny, not because they chicken don't have no flavor, not because they can't cook. You understand? Not because they use scissors to cut grapes off the vine. You understand? It's not because they kiss dogs in the mouth. It's because of their crimes that they committed against Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's why. To this day. Correct. You understand? Anything else on that?
Go
ahead.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
He says, I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. You understand? So Christ didn't do away with the law. That's nowhere in the Bible. You just don't understand the Bible. Why? Because you are blind, being led by the blind. You grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. You understand? You are in a spiritual darkness, have no idea because it feels right. Because it feels like you're going the right way. Well, listen, Christ is the way, the only way. And he's saying, read it again.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
He's saying, think not that I come to destroy the law.
Or the prophets.
Or the prophets.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
He did not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law. You understand? Now, Christian gonna be like, well, there you have it. He said he's here to fulfill. So that it's done. No, he just said he's not here to destroy the law. The law stands. Matter of fact, give me Baruch in the Apocrypha. I think it's Baruch 4:1. I think it's Baruch 4:1.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. And it reads, this is the book of the commandments of the Most High.
Read it again.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High.
It says, this is the book of the commandments of the Most High. This is the words of the Lord. This is the ordinances that he put down to the 12 tribes of Israel and how they should live and how they should deal with each other. You understand? Read on.
And the law that endure forever.
And the what?
And the law that endure forever.
And the what?
And the law that endure forever.
And the law that endureth forever. Not for 2 weeks. Not until 33 AD. Read it again.
This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endure forever.
Read on.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
Read it again.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
It says all they that keep it, meaning what? The laws and the commandments shall come to life. Read on.
But such as leave it shall
what?
die.
But what?
Such as leave it shall die.
But such as leave it shall die. You know what this is? This right here is heavy. Because this is that light where you don't have to be blind anymore. You don't have to grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness anymore. Now you can open your eyes and clearly see. Read it again. Read that last two parts again.
And they that keep it shall come to life.
So now you know, okay, I don't have to do what feels right. Because if I keep God's law, I will come to life. But read on.
But such as leave it shall die.
But such as leave it shall die. So now I know, okay, if I break these laws, then there's death waiting on me. You understand? So now you need to decide this. Do you want to live or do you want to die? You understand? Because it's convenient to just do what feels right. To not know if you're going to die. That's, you know, that's insane to me. You understand? To not know whether or not the decision that you make is you're going to live or die from it. That is an insane way of living. You understand? You know what I mean? Like it's like walking through the woods at night with flip-flops on. Well, matter of fact, we can say barefoot with some basketball shorts on. You understand? And you step on something, and you're trying to figure out what is that I'm stepping on. Feels a little leathery, feels a little firm. I know it ain't a stick. Feels like a stick. What is it? And then all of a sudden it moves, but it's a very quick movement. And then next thing you know, you feel a burning sensation in the side of your leg. And you reach down and that little leathery stick is stuck to the side of your leg. And then you realize that's a snake. And that snake just bit you. Because you decided that it was better to walk through the woods at night barefoot with shorts on instead of walking through the woods with that flashlight. so that you can know that's a snake. So I'm not going to walk that way. I'm going to walk this way. You understand? But guess what? You could say that's a snake. I'm going to step on that snake, which would be stupid, but you could do it if you want to be stupid. You understand? But now this is like a GPS. You don't have to feel your way through life. Now you can just do as you're goddamn told, and everything will be fine. You understand? You can follow instructions. You can follow commandments and orders that are given to you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So drop that. I want you to go to, matter of fact, go back to Matthew 5:17. Well, sure.
Come. The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Go ahead.
For verily I say unto you,
Go ahead.
till heaven and earth pass.
Till what?
Heaven and earth pass.
Now, let me ask you a question. Is heaven and earth still around?
Come. Yes, sir.
Is the earth still here?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
You positive?
Yes, sir.
100%. How you know? Good.
We on earth right now?
Because we on earth right now, right? You understand? That's a rhetorical question. You understand? To heaven and earth pass, read on.
One jot.
One what?
One jot. Or one tittle.
So these are like the punctuation marks in the Hebrew. Go ahead.
Shall in no wise pass from the law.
Shall in no wise pass from the law. Meaning not even a comma or an exclamation point shall pass from the law. Read on.
Till all be fulfilled.
Till what?
Till all be fulfilled.
Till what?
Till all be fulfilled.
Till all be fulfilled. Read on.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
Read that again.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
Now, what is a least commandment? You know what I mean? Eating pork is a very small thing. You understand? It's a very small thing not to eat pork. You understand? Like, that's just food. Shrimp, lobster. You mean to tell me you can't not eat shrimp? You understand? Listen, let me tell you something. I remember I stopped eating pork, maybe about 2 years or so before I came into the truth, right? I had actually went to a doctor. And when I went to the doctor, I can't remember what I was at the doctor for, but they told me, I was like, oh, your blood pressure is sky high, brother. Said, listen, we got to get your blood pressure down. You understand? We're going to have you come back in 2 weeks. And if your blood pressure ain't down, we're going to put you on blood pressure medication. And I was like, you know what? At this point in time, I was an individual, a fake Israelite. You know what I mean? Walking around with tassels on my bottom of my T-shirt. You understand? Looking like a goddamn idiot. You understand? But I knew that the reason why my blood pressure was high is because I was still eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. I was an individualite who thought he knew some of the scriptures, and I was still eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. and I instantly stopped eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster because I knew that if I continued to do this, that I would die. And when I went back 2 weeks later, I didn't change anything else. Still ate the same amount of fried chicken. Still drank sodas and French fries and pizza. Still ate pasta and chicken Alfredo. Still ate cereal and Pop-Tarts and Krispy Kreme. Still ate all that. Didn't change nothing in my diet except I only ate things that were lawful. When I went back to that doctor 2 weeks later, my blood pressure was perfect. You understand? So I lived like that for about a year solid. And then I remember one day I ordered a pizza from Domino's, and I told them, you know, I got my own signature pizza that I ordered. It's chicken Alfredo pizza. I remember when I first ordered it at Domino's, they thought I was nuts. They was like, I don't think we can put Alfredo sauce on the pizza, sir. I don't know if that'll make you sick or not. I said, just do it, and if I get sick, it's on me. And it was absolutely busted. Now it's a regular thing now. But I remember, you might could thank me for that, because I had to argue with Domino's every time I ordered a pizza to get me a chicken Alfredo pizza. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, one day I ordered a pizza, and it was a chicken. I ordered the chicken Alfredo pizza, but for some reason, what they bought me was a chicken bacon ranch pizza. And I was absolutely pissed because I was starving. I hadn't eaten all day, and I was hungry as I don't know what. And I just sat there. I just threw the pizza on the ground. You know, it was still in the box. I didn't just throw it on the ground. But I just dropped the pizza on the ground. I just sat there, just highly disappointed. I called Domino's, cussed Domino's out. They offered to give me 2 free pizzas next time I call. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to eat the damn pizza. Ate the whole goddamn pizza. Ate the whole pizza. I laid down and went to sleep. And then all of a sudden, I woke up out of my sleep, and I had the most painful heartburn I've ever had in my entire life. It was so bad that my throat closed and I couldn't breathe. Like, I'm sitting there like trying to pull air in my lungs, like I'm freaking out because I can't breathe. And I done got up, I done started jumping up and down because I'm like, I don't know what to do. You understand? I thought I was about to suffocate. You know what I mean? I didn't know what happened, but what happened was my stomach acid had boiled back up and then went down in my lungs. And when it went down in my lungs, my windpipe shut. So I'm standing up there wide awake, suffocating. Couldn't breathe for nothing. You understand? And so, you know what I mean? It was like the Lord tried to think about it. He gave me a choke. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. Call your mama. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you know what I mean? I'd never touch it again. You understand? Never touch it again. You understand? So, you know what I mean? So here's the thing, right? This law is even the smallest of the laws. If someone break even the least commandment, talking about even down to getting a shape up, you understand? Read on.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments,
Go ahead.
And shall teach men so.
And shall what?
And shall teach men so.
And shall what?
Teach men so.
This is your Christian pastor. Your fake religious, your fake Israelite leader. Your Muslim imam. I don't know what they got in Buddhism, but your Buddhist guru. Or that's a Hindu. Your Hindu guru. Whatever. I don't know what a guru is, but whoever it is that you follow, if they break one of the least commandments and teach you to do so, and teach you that it's okay to eat pork, Christ did away with the law. It's okay to get your hairline shaped up. It's okay to do that. You understand? It's okay. It's okay. You understand? You can eat a little shrimp here and there, a little shrimp on the barbecue, eat some chitlins. You can celebrate Thanksgiving. You understand? Oh, you celebrating the Passover? I'm bringing chitlins. Yeah, I'm bringing chitlins. You got chitlins at the Passover? You understand? Whosoever shall break even the least commandment and teach men so, read on.
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
He shall be called the greatest.
The least in the kingdom of heaven.
He shall be called the highest.
The least in the kingdom of heaven.
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? Think about it like this. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, at least he in heaven." No. Think about America as the white man's heaven. You understand? Now think about the least of the white men in America. Think about that. Where they living at? Where they stay at? What condition they in? You understand? I tell you one thing, it's a white man that I pay to pick up the garbage at my house, in my backyard, and cut down trees and pull up poison sumac vines. You know, I give him a few dollars here and there, and he goes back and does it because he's homeless, sleeping in a tent. So I pay him money to go and do the things that I don't want to do. But he's in America. He's in heaven. He's the least in the kingdom, in his kingdom of heaven. You understand? So don't take that as a flex. You understand? Anything else on that?
Come.
Go ahead.
But whosoever shall do and teach them.
So whosoever shall do and teach them, read on.
The same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
The same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Now, what you want to be the least or you want to be the greatest? What do you want to be when the kingdom comes? Where do you want to stand at? Where you want to live at? What you want your condition to be? Because it's right here in the Bible. These are who words? What color are the words you reading?
Red.
They red, meaning what?
Christ spoke.
Meaning these is Christ's words. The man you lying on saying did away with the law. He's telling you right here that whosoever break the commandments is going to be least in the kingdom. Whosoever break the commandments and teach men so shall be the least in the kingdom. Whosoever shall keep the commandments and teach men so shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? Anything else on that? All right, drop that. I want you to go to skip the chapter 19. This chair sucks.
God of accounts.
19, verse 17.
God of accounts. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 17. And it reads, and he said unto him, why callest thou me good?
So who's speaking again?
Yahweh Shai.
This is Christ speaking, right?
God
So
of accounts.
this is how you know that Christ is not the most high. Because he says, why call us? Matter of fact, skip one verse above.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
So someone is asking Christ, it said, good master, what good thing shall I do? Because he's trying to get into the kingdom. You understand? So he calls him good master. What should I do to get into the kingdom of heaven? And then read how our king responded.
God, Matthew chapter 19, verse 17. And he said unto him, why callest thou me good?
He said, why callest thou me good? Read on.
There is none good.
For there's none good. Read on.
But one.
But one. But who? Read on.
That is the Most High.
That is the Most High. So why is Christ saying he's not good, but only the Most High? If he's the Most High, maybe you're just stupid and don't understand the Bible. Maybe that's it. You understand? Matter of fact, how often do you study the Bible? How often do you come to class and ask questions? You don't, do you? You go to church and you listen to your pastor. He just sits up there and tells you about how you sow a seed and how all your friends is haters. That's what they say. That's what they teach in the church. You know what I'm saying? They teach you to hate your friends, hate your mama, hate your kids, hate your husband, hate your wife. You understand? Hate your neighbors, hate your job. You understand? Every sister in there waiting on their Boaz. Got a husband at home, but she waiting on her Boaz. You understand? She waiting on that Boaz. You understand? She always thinks she can do better than what she got. Why? Because of your Christian pastor. And they're sleeping with everybody's wife. And in some scenarios, everybody's son or husband. Like, what's his name? Eddie Long. You understand? He in there sleeping with boys in the church. You understand? Read on.
God. But if thou will enter into life.
Says, but if thou will enter into life, read on.
Keep the commandments.
Do what?
Keep the commandments.
Nah, break the commandments.
Keep the commandments.
Nah, they done away with.
Keep the commandments.
Why is Christ telling people to keep the commandments if he's coming to do away with the commandments? Think about that. How you expect to get into heaven when you robbing people? When you selling dope? You know you sleeping with everybody's wife in the hood. You missed to steal your girl. How do you expect to get into heaven and you living like that? You out here destroying lives, destroying families, and you think you're gonna get into heaven like that? Nah, man. Stop listening to that Christian pastor, man. Stop listening to what feels good. You understand? Do you want to be blind or you want to see? Because in the UPK, we help the blind to see. You understand? But guess what? You are not going to see unless you don't want to be blind. Because a lot of us love being blind. Huh? You understand? They love being blind. And it's not so much as they love the blindness, it's that they love the illusion of freedom. They can go and be as wicked as they want to, and nothing's gonna happen. Meanwhile, we still number one in heart disease, number one in HIV, number one in prison, number one in drug addiction, number one in suicide. You understand? Number one in abortion. We're still number one in all these things. Why? Because we listen to blind leaders. You understand? We should listen to Christ. What is Christ saying? Forget what I say. What did Christ just say? Read that last part again.
God. But if thou will enter into life.
This is what Christ said. Read on.
Keep the commandments.
Do what?
Keep the commandments.
Break the commandments.
Keep the commandments.
Christ said, keep the commandments. Give a damn what your Christian pastor say, man. What did Christ say? Christ said, keep the commandments. You understand? The scriptures say the leaders of our people have caused us to err. You understand? The leaders, man. When we gonna hold our leaders accountable? You understand? Sister down in Colombia, brother and sister just had to bury their son, man. They had to bury their son who was killed by a so-called Chinese man over a bottle of water. A bottle of water. You know, it rains water out the sky for free. You understand? And he lost his life over 20 ounces of water. You understand? Why? Because our leaders taught us it's okay to be around these other nations. It's okay to mingle with these other nations. Martin Luther King, that blood is on Martin Luther King's hands. That blood is on every Christian pastor that followed Martin Luther King. You understand? Yeah, we can hold the white man accountable. Let's hold his angels accountable too. His angels is the so-called black and Hispanic leaders that sold us down the river, man. We got any comments in there? Somebody said something?
You won't waste that con, sir.
I'm trying to cry. If anybody chiming in the chat, man, let me know. Nah, man. Read on.
He saith unto him, which Yahushua said.
Salaki, we can drop that. You understand? I want you to go to try to move through these a little faster because time coming short. I want you to give me 1 John chapter 2, verse 3, Bakasha. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 3. Make sure you keep your notes because you're gonna need this breakdown now. You're gonna need it.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 2. Is that verse 2?
Chapter 2, verse 3.
Okay. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him.
So guess what? Every Christian church claim they know God, they know Jesus. Jesus. Something about the name Jesus. You understand? What are the kind of ridiculous Christian songs out there? Never would have made it. It is the sweetest name. What else? What other? I can't even think of no other Christian diabolical music. What's some other gospel songs? You understand? They claim they love God so much. They know God. They know God in the church. Do you know what trips me out? Like, do you know Jesus? That's how the white folks do you know Jesus? And they always say it like with that twang on the end. Jesus. Like, if you don't get out of my face, you know what I'm saying? Brush your teeth. Your breath smell like, you know what I'm saying? Smell like bounce that. You know, excuse my language. So like, read on.
And hereby we do know that we know him.
So hereby we do know that we know him. This is how you know that you know God. You say you know God. You think by going to church, you know God. You understand? Christians got this quote. It really makes me so sick when I hear it because I want to correct them. But sometimes I just let it just be said. It ain't none of my business. They ain't saying it to me. But when they be like, God got me, I just be wanting so bad, like, no, he don't. You understand? You don't know God. You don't know nothing about him. You understand? You don't even know his name. You don't know nothing about him. You don't know what, you don't even know, you don't know Christ. How do I know that you don't know Christ? This scripture is going to tell me. Read on.
We know him if we keep his commandments.
If we do what?
Keep his commandments.
If we do what?
Keep his commandments.
If we do what feels right.
Keep his commandments.
You know, if we follow our heart.
If we keep his commandments.
But the laws is done away with.
If we keep his commandments.
If we keep God's commandments, that's how you know somebody know God. That's how you know. You understand? Can't say you know God and you smoking weed. You can't say you know God when you got a ham sandwich with bacon on it. You can't say you know God when you eating shrimp skewers and seafood boils on Thanksgiving, calling it Yahushua Day. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. You understand? You don't know God. You don't know. You understand? Read on.
He that saith, I know him.
He that saith, I know him.
And keepeth not his commandments.
And do what?
And keepeth not his commandments.
And keepeth not his commandments. You understand? Read on.
Is a lie.
Is a what?
Is a lie.
What is your Christian pastor?
A lie.
Hold on. Don't your pastor say he know God?
It's a lie.
Do he eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster?
Is a lie.
Do he sleep with your wife?
Is a lie.
Is he molesting kids?
Is a lie.
Is he smoking weed?
Is a lie.
Is he selling dope?
Is a lie.
Is he a scammer?
Is a lie.
You know, a lot of them pastors are scammers. You ain't know that, did you? A lot of these pastors are scammers out. You understand? A lot of these pastors with these nonprofit organizations are scammers. You understand? I ain't gonna get into detail about that, but that's something I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. You understand? I'm not telling you what's in my heart or my feelings. I'm telling you what I know. You understand? Read on.
Is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
And the what?
And the truth is not in him.
And the what?
And the truth is not in him.
And the truth is not in him. So what does that mean? That means that anybody who tells you they know God and then stuff they face with pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster and cigarettes and weed and homosexuality, they are a liar. And the truth is not in them. You can't say you know God and be trying to teach me about God in a strip club paying for a lap dance. Can't do that, huh? You understand? Can't do that. You understand? He's a liar, and the truth is not in him. You understand? And let me tell you something. I literally saw that. I literally lived that. You understand? In another life, you understand? I was business partners with my pastor, and we had a business together, and in our business we had, these ladies of the night, exotic dancers that would come to the establishment. And I remember I'm sitting there, getting a dance, and I'm just sitting there just thinking in my head like, man, I'm getting tired of this. It just got to be something better to life than just smoking weed and popping holes and, just selling drugs and, fighting in the street and shooting and banging and all this other. It's got to be more to life than this, man. And I'm trying, and I'm sitting there I'm actually sitting there praying while getting a lap dance, talking to the Lord. And I'm like, man, I'm really trying. I said, I'm really trying, Lord. I'm trying to figure this thing out, like what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I just look over to my left, and my pastor is right there beside me, cash in fist, smiling ear to ear, little skinny little thing just shaking that little bologna meat. He looking at me like, boy, you ain't having fun, boy. Come on, man, boy, you looking like you ain't having fun. I'm just looking at him like, nigga, you supposed to be the goddamn one who's supposed to take me to the Lord. You're supposed to help me find the Lord. And I'm looking like, but here's the happy part. He wasn't the only pastor at the after party. And it wasn't just one or two. You know what I'm saying? So, go ahead. You have something you want to bring up?
I was going to say, he's probably using the tithes money. And we had
oh, yeah, he was using tithe money. And remember, I said these pastors are scammers. He had a scheme with a 501c3 where he was getting money every month that he was supposed to be paying people salaries. And he had, long story short, he was pocketing every bit of that money, paying for his big house and his navigator, and just and the tricking, good and like ain't nobody tricking like pastors be tricking. Behind every great pastor, there's a long line of ratchet hoes just getting their cell phone bill paid. I'm dead serious. Go ahead.
It's like comment too.
Mm-hmm.
Year One Way said a lot of these churches are just looking for a paycheck, and the second they step outside, they keep doing the same thing they tell their people not to do.
Oh yeah, and they do it in secret. You know, it's almost like a secret society. You know what I mean? It's like they all do it, and they all link up and do it. You understand? These gospel singers too, man. Good man. Listen, I'm not even gonna go too much into detail about them gospel singers, but just know that we used to have a studio back in the day. It was gospel singers used to come through, and we wouldn't know church niggas. You know what I'm saying? We was running through them, and you know we ain't spare the gospel singers either. You know, we wasn't sparing nobody. You come through here looking good, just like running through traffic. You know what I'm saying? Put two and two together. But listen, this whole Christian world, it ain't what you think. And if you caught up in the believing that if you really diligent about the Lord, you should run out of that church. You understand? Because you are setting yourself up to be devastated. You understand? And I'm gonna go ahead and make a confession to y'all tonight. You understand? I was devastated by the Christian church. You understand? Because I was at a very dark point in my life where I was trying to turn to the Christian church. And I saw all the things that was going on behind closed doors in this Christian. I ain't gonna say all the things, but I saw enough to let me know. When I seen cocaine get snorted by a clergyman off a stripper's backside, I knew, brother, these niggas worse than me. I can't. Christianity ain't it. You understand? And I'm telling you right here, right now, I've always been the type, like this right here is the reason why I'm in the UPK today. Because I was at a point in my life where I didn't want to follow the Lord the fake way. You know what I'm saying? All my life, I put my life on the line for those I love. You understand? I put my life on the line. Dodging bullets, sending bullets. Real blood. You understand? And I put my life on the line for the ones I love. And I can't sit here and say I love God if I wasn't willing to do the same thing. And where I was at in my mind, I went to a very, very dark place. And I had made up my mind that I was going to leave America and I was going to go to the Middle East and I was going to convert to Islam and I was going to do whatever it was that Muslims do to serve the Lord the gangster way. I was going to join the fight. Like on the other side. I was on my way out. I was going to join Al Qaeda. I'm dead serious. I was done with Christianity, done with America, done with the white man, done with white society, done with oppression, and I was ready to fight. I was ready to fight and die. I was ready for that. You understand? And I called my best friend at the time. And the only reason why I called him wasn't because I wanted somebody to talk me out of it. I made up my mind. I was going to vanish. I was going to disappear. I was just going to go. You understand? I called my best friend. Only reason why I called him is because I at least wanted somebody to know where I was going. I felt like somebody needed to know. In case my mama looked hard enough, she able to find that answer. You understand? And I called him and I told him exactly what I was about to do. And this fool busted out laughing. You know what I'm saying? He busted out laughing. I'm sitting there like, bro, I I know you're laughing, man. That shit, I'm telling you, this shit ain't funny, but I'm so serious like, right now. He laughed even harder. He said, man, I'm laughing because I know you're serious. And he told me, you know, I love you, I support you, whatever you want to do. But before you go, I got something I need to show you. So I was like, all right, man. Now I'm done. Like, I'm about to leave tomorrow. Like, I'm done with everything. I'm out of here. Tired of going to jail, tired of fighting, tired of shooting, tired of all that. I'm gone. I'm about to go convert to Islam like a half-full lives. I'm out of here. So I went, crunked up my car, drove all the way to Greenwood, right there on the spot. Drove. Because I'm time of the essence. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm already checked out. I'm done. I made my mind up. When I get out there, and he shows me a video of the Hebrew Israelites. And when I seen that video, it was a Deuteronomy 28 breakdown. What not your ISUPK? It was a group called the 14th Street Israelites. And the brother was breaking down the Deuteronomy 28:68. He was reading from Babylon to Timbuktu. When he was breaking it all down, I instantly knew it was the truth. I knew it was the truth. And I knew that this is what I've been searching for my whole life. The truth. This is it. You understand? So I say that to say this. You know what I mean? That's a whole dark little sidebar. You understand? But you can't fake it when it comes to the Lord. You understand? You can't half-step it when you come to the Lord. In the Christian church, they ain't even half-stepping. They ain't even stepping. That's a whole different religion from what the Lord established. You understand? The Christian church, they don't even worship the Lord. Why? Read that scripture again.
God will come. Is the book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments.
He that saith, I know him, but keepeth not his commandments. Read on.
Is a liar.
Is a liar.
And the truth is not in him.
Go ahead.
But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of the Most High perfected.
Listen, read that last part again.
But whoso keepeth his word.
But whoso keepeth his word. And whoever keeps these laws, statutes, and commandments. Read on.
In him.
In him. Read on.
Verily is the love of the Most High perfected.
Now we get somewhere. You say you love God, do you? Because this right here is saying how we know if you love God. You understand? How do we know if a wife loves her husband? She do what he tell her to do. Right? Well, I mean, if she don't, does she love him? You got a term for that, huh? So in the world, they say she ain't yours. She ain't, what they say? She don't belong to you, it's just your turn. That's what they say in the world. Huh? You understand? So how you gonna sit here and say you love God, but you don't give a damn about the commandments? You understand? Would you have a job if you ain't do what your job told you to do? Your job tell you to be here on Monday at 8 o'clock and you show up at 5 p.m. You think you're gonna have a job?
No, sir.
You don't have a job for long. So you're not gonna have that job. So how is it that you can do what your boss say at your job, but you can't do what the Lord say? And I can tell you personally, the Lord can cut your oxygen off like that. You understand? He can cut it off. Huh? There's 1,000 different reasons that your esophagus can close like this. It's 1,000 different reasons. All the Lord needs is one. You understand? Anything else on that?
Oh. Hereby know we that we are in him.
Okay. All right. Now drop that. I want you to go to Romans 6:1. We're almost done. We're almost done. Romans 6:1. Because here's the thing, they say we're not under the law, right? What do Christians say when they say we're not under the law? What comes next? What do they say? Do you know? Go ahead.
You just believe in Jesus and he'll forgive you for your sins. And pretty much right.
So here's the thing, right? Matter of fact, we're gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that in a second, right? So what they say is we're not under law, we're under grace, right? We're under the grace, right? So what is grace? You know, I'm gonna use that to my my water bill. When the water company called me, I'm gonna say I don't pay the bill no more. I'm under grace. Because they give you a grace period now. They give you grace. You understand? But what is your landlord when your landlord gives you grace? Explain that grace to me. How does grace work when your landlord gives it to you? Somebody go ahead.
He's giving you a lot of time to come up with what you owe it.
Ooh, get everything hand. I like the way you worded that. Come up with what?
And a lot of time to give him what you owe.
What you owe him. You understand? That's cold right there. I like the way you worded that. It's giving you an allotted time to give him what you owe him. You understand? Now, what happens if you don't give him what he's owed at the end of that allotted time? Get evicted. You understand? Here's the thing: a lot of us was on the verge of eviction when we came into the truth. You understand? And here's the thing: once you hear this breakdown, that grace period has now ended. You understand? And guess what? Like he just said, there's an allotted time. That's what that grace means. You understand? Now let's read about this grace. Read that when you got it.
Definition of grace.
No.
Oh, come. This is the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin?
Shall we do what?
Continue in sin.
This is what a lot of us do. We are living in sin. Eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, going to the strip club and in the church on Sunday. Go ahead.
Shall we continue in sin?
Shall we continue eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster and going to the strip club and in church on Sunday? Shall we continue doing these things? Read on.
That grace may abound.
That what?
That grace may abound.
Hold on. So we under grace. He's asking a question. We're under grace. So should we continue to sin? You understand? I want you to drop down to verse 15, folks. So he's asking the question. We under grace now. So we under grace, meaning we not gonna get our head bust for breaking the law. We're not gonna get split open in the top of the head. You understand? We ain't gonna get clocked. You understand? For breaking the law. We under grace, right? So now he's asking the question. So because we're not getting stoned to death, because we're not getting a firing squad, you understand? Should we continue in sin? Does that make sense? You understand? Think about it like this, right? Think about this, right? Imagine I owe you money. You understand? I owe you money, right? Then you in the club one night, you see me in the club. I owe you money. You giving me? I tell you, I ain't got it right now. You know, don't worry about it, brother. Just give it to me when you got it. All right, that man. I appreciate that, man, because you know time's been hard. Then you see me in the club. I don't see you see me, but you see me in the club, in the VIP section, buying bottles, hoes on deck, throwing money, and I owe you money. You You see, how would you feel about that? Go ahead.
I'm grabbing that wine bottle of bashing
Hey,
your head.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? How would you feel, Durakasha? Yeah, and that brother's very diplomatic. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can't tell you what I done did because I done it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm keeping that to myself for right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you something. How you think the Lord feel? It ain't so funny no more. You understand? You owe the Lord some money. He giving you time to pay it, but yet now he catch you in the club popping bottles. You know what I'm saying? Exodus 15:3 say the Lord is a man of war, man. You playing with that man of war. You don't play with men of war. You don't do that. It's unwise. You understand? Because men of war wait on you and watch you. You understand? And then walk up on you when you least expect it. Say, remember that money that you owed me? That's the Lord. You understand? You want the Lord to do that? Because when the Lord do it, you know what I mean? It hit different. You understand? So shall you continue in sin so that grace may abound? That's the question that he's asking. So you continue to not pay the Lord his due while he giving you time to pay it? Read verse 15.
Come on. Romans chapter 6, verse 15. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace?
So what does it mean when it says, but we're not under the law? Go ahead.
We're not under the punishment behind breaking the law, like in the Old Testament during Moses' time, when it said, "Thou shalt surely be put to death for sleeping with a man's wife, for homosexuality." You know, there's other sins you get put to death for.
Right. So we're not under the law. You understand? We are under the commandments, but we're not under the law. The law. Think about the law, right? It's like the police. We don't have someone policing us anymore. I got about the laws, about the commandments. Go ahead.
So I was gonna say like enforce.
Right.
Like,
there's no enforcement to keep the commandments. So he's asking, you understand, shall we continue to live in sin? And shall we continue to break the commandments because there's no enforcement? Read on.
The Most High forbid.
God forbid. That is not what this was in this Bible, to break the commandments because we're under grace. You understand? Drop that. Got two more scriptures, then we out of here. Give me 1 John 3 and 4. So what is sin? Go ahead.
Sin is transgression of the law.
Right. How do you know that? How do you know that sin is transgression of the law? I probably already gave it to you. I'm probably retarded.
It's the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law.
Read it again.
Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law.
Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. Read on.
For sin.
For what?
For sin.
For sin. Read on.
Is the transgression of the law.
So if you sin, that means you're breaking the law. So there's some things that you do that are not a sin. And then there's things that you do that are a sin. You understand? Like, is it a sin to have more than one woman? No. But it is a sin to continue to get women to the point where it pulls you out of the truth. Not every brother is equipped to have more than one woman. Some brothers can't handle one woman. You understand? So not everybody should have multiple wives, but not every. I think the scriptures say that not everything that's good is expedient. I believe that's the scripture. I believe that's how it breaks down. Well, that's you know what I mean. So, but sin, however, is a transgression of the law. Meaning, law is written and you break that. That is what a sin is. You understand? Now, I want you to drop that. Got one last scripture. Give me 1 John chapter 5 and start verse 1.
It's the book of 1 John chapter 5 verse 1. Whosoever believeth that Yahushua is the Christ is born of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And every one that loveth him that begot loveth him also that is begotten of him.
Now read that part again.
And every one that loveth him.
And everyone that love him. Read on.
That begot loveth him also.
Loveth him, the God loveth him also.
That is
so if you love God, you love Christ also. You understand? Read on.
Also that is begotten of him.
And also that is begotten of him. You understand? Meaning his disciples. Meaning the brothers and sisters that follow Christ. You understand? So if you say you love Most High, then you must also love Christ. And if you say you love Christ, you must also love the brothers and sisters in the ISUPK, which is the one and only body of Christ. You understand? Not saying must as in you have to do it. I'm saying must as in that to love one is to love all three. You understand? Read on.
For this is the love of the Most High.
This is how you know that this is true. For this is the love of the Most High. Read on.
Skip the verse.
Okay, go ahead.
By this we know that we love the children of the Most High.
By this we know we love the children of the Most High. Go ahead.
This
is meaning blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, meaning our brothers and our sisters. Read on.
When we love the Most High.
When we love the Most High. This is how you know when you love your people, when you love the Most High. Read on.
And keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments. Read on.
For this is the love of the Most High.
For this is the love of God. Read on.
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. You understand? We keep that. You understand? So if we keep that commandments, guess what? We also doing the same thing. Christ told you to do what the Most High said to do. ISUPK tells you to do what Christ said to do. You see what I'm saying? So the love of the Most High is to love Christ. To love Christ is to love the ISUPK. Because the ISUPK tells you to do what Christ told you to do. Go ahead. I got a question.
Like, I don't know the scripture, but it's a scripture that says if you love Yahushua, or those who say they love God, who they haven't seen, and say they love their or hated their brother who they have seen, doesn't love the Most High. It's a lot.
Right. That's in the brotherhood breakdown. You understand? Like, how can you say you love God whom you have not seen, and you don't love your brother whom you have seen? You understand? All right, so that concludes this class. Men of Israel, Amaju. Everybody turn and face the east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Badash. Yah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakuka. Naba'ah. Ratzaka. Hayah. Asha. Ba'aratzah. Kawah. Hayah. Mashamayim. Lathamanawa. Lakam. Kab. Yawam. Wasalaknawa. Kawawafnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kawawafyanawa. Wala'ah. Tabashat. So like, Tabaya Anawa, Manasaya one, a ball, how a shot now, Bayan, Rod, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha Allah, Wahata Para, I will love you. Aman. We said it in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. The prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Baba Kushah, Nathana now, Haka, La Ba'ah, Ka Magala, Waka Madawa, Haka, Natahar, Hamatazari, Haka, La Hakuya, Hamathi, Haka, Arakawa, Atama Allah, Nagara Shah, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Tawada Aman. We said it in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. All right, men of Israel. Amajim Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Dismissed.